Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Kansas City Chiefs. After 2 weeks on the road, they're finally ready for the home opener at Arrowhead Stadium. Standing by on the call, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, from one of the loudest venues in the NFL, there's a look at Arrowhead Stadium here in Kansas City. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Denver Broncos and the Kansas City Chiefs. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make the play on the football.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. He was trying to find Noah Fant, the tight end, and it's second down. The offensive starters now for the Broncos.
And they're coming off a good win on the road last week, but they do know that they have a home game next week. So all the focus has to be, can they get a second win on the road and make going home that much sweeter? That's the intention in this ballgame.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. They'll try and run for it with Lindsey. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Phillip Lindsey with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, these guys scored touchdown after touchdown in that win a week ago. So how do they come out this week? Same way. They've got that momentum going, a touchdown on the opening drive.
I think it's safe to say that they're in a groove, isn't it? I mean, a lot of times we've seen where teams have scored a ton of points the week before. The very next week struggle to score almost as if they used it all up. Not in this case. This group appears locked in.
We're going to have to make some adjustments if you're on the other side of that football. Extra point from McManus is good. And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Chiefs now coming out for their opening drive. Leading this unit will be the big arm man out of Texas Tech. 10th pick in the 2017 draft, Patrick Mahomes.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
A run there on first down gets 3 up to the 28. Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft. And now the Chiefs' offensive starters.
And I think we'll see a renewed sense of urgency out of this team this week because they have to make sure they don't waste this homestand. They had a home game last week, lost it. Now they got the second straight. They've got to take advantage of it, get a win before they head out on the road.
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. Defensively, we check the starters now for Denver. They were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, do you now decide that I can't throw the ball against this team and try and run it like crazy? Or do you challenge them? This is going to be fun.
Yellow. That's a lot of light. Check 45 to Mike.
Throwing is Mahomes on third. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Watkins, the intended receiver. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Now Cortland Sutton and the rest of the offense getting ready for their next drive. The early returns for him, very good to start this season. Interesting to see if he can keep up that torrid pace.
Yeah, when you're talking about averaging 100 yards a game as a receiver, extrapolate that over 16 games, and you're having a monster season. So, yeah, you love what he's doing early, but I think it's got to go back to the offseason, doesn't it? It's got to go back to the roots, spending time with the guy who's going to throw the ball to him, spending time watching tape, spending time reading defenses, and, of course, getting himself ready to play.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
53.
On play action, they'll throw. Rolling to his right. He's got his tight end, Jake Bunt. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 18 big yards on that one and a Denver first.
Ready. 44, Mike, 44. All day.
On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. Oh, the spin. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. And what they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be.
And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. It's their cornerback, hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Broncos push further out in front. They've got to be thrilled on the road right now. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, and quickly trying to make it 14-0.
Yeah, and mentioned it already. On the road, to be able to go into someone else's house and establish a start like that, obviously your confidence rises in a big way, and you're putting some doubt in their minds.
Now McManus for the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. Just a 4-play drive that time, and a 9-yard run on the end of it. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now here comes Kansas City. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Nice play for Kansas City, picking up the first 18 yards that time.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Shotgun snap to Mahomes, and almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. There, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Phillip Lindsay and the rest of the offense heading back out. Last week, over 100 yards, 3 touchdowns. We were talking with him on the field before the game. He said simply, I was in a groove. He obviously was.
And I think he's being a little modest about that, being in a groove. That's a big-time game right there. And I think he feels like his entire team is coming along with him because they're creating spaces and holes for him to run through. He's making people miss, running through tackles. They are locked in a big way and confident about this game as well.
Now this throw caught left side. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. That he's taken down. A Chiefs sack.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Now back to throw. He's going to look deep down the field. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Zach Pascal, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Broncos push further out in front. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie. Because usually your rookie season is in a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
McManus's point after is good, and that makes the score 21-0. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it ends with a Denver touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Looking to throw again on second down. Mahomes, complete, the tight end Kelsey. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a first down.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards it.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage, because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
On second down, Williams. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City first down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Gets it to Hardman, a jet sweep, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
From midfield, here's Mahomes. And this is caught by Watkins. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 9.
The Chiefs on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he'll punt it away for the second time. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
A pass there complete to Sutton. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. Somebody missed an assignment. He was waving his arm saying, hey, I'm wide open. They found him.
You think? You think? I mean, he was so wide open. Did you see he was just windmilling like he was Don Quixote or somebody out there? And then they found him for a really nice gain.
Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
Break. 53. Check 53. Better break. You better break. I'm letting you know right now. You better.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. Whoosh. Got a man open. It's Sutton. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. They'll set up a throw, eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. A gritty play there. Put his nose down and got his guys a first. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Cortland Sutton, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos push further out in front.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Now McManus to tack on the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here's Damian Williams making his way back out. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. And that's incomplete. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Time for a look around the NFL here in Week 3 of the new year. We'll start up at New Era Field just outside of Buffalo. And that game tied at 7 in the second quarter. From there, we head down south to Tampa to check on the Bucs at home at Raymond James Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Minnesota Vikings. Jameis Winston with 3 touchdown passes. Finally, let's get down to Houston. Check on the Texans at home at NRG Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Lions. The Texans trying to finish that one off and claim victory. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. On 2nd and 10, Mahomes. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Von Miller able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And he's going to drop this off to Williams. Complete. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. So they wind up throwing it against your advice, but the result's still a 4th down.
Well, it did turn out to be a safe throw. And you know how sometimes coaches talk about using short passing game as a run? Essentially, that's what they did there. Now they can kick it away.
Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Kansas City. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. This will be fielded at the 17. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. They've been able to move the ball well in the air, and certainly a big reason why those receiving corps have been excellent.
There's no doubt about it, partner. Let's face it, when they get away from defenders, those guys are quick. And when they go over the top of people and use their bodies, they're just thick. But let's face it, what we're seeing right now are catches that are simply sick.
Well, you brought your A game. You're fired up over those catches, aren't you?
Can't help it. Even as a former defensive back, I've got to tip my cap to these guys. They are balling.
I appreciate that.
Ready, break.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion.
Get it.
They'll go again with Lindsey. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down.
Check the out. Check the out. Check the out. Ready.
They'll look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. That's caught inside the 20. It's a big play there for the Broncos. 45 yards.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Back to throw here. That's into the hands of Pascal. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving.
15 line. 15 line. You can't block me. You can't block me.
They'll run here with Freeman. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Jake Butt, his first touchdown of the new season, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And down near the goal line here, they're able to throw it in.
And the key word, quick. Quick hitter, out of his hands fast, into the receiver's hands even faster.
McManus now for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. That time a 6-play drive, and it ends with a Denver touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
And the Chiefs now getting set to go. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Mecole Hardman the intended target, but it'll be second down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with him.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Mahomes dropping one to Williams here. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. Now that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there because trying it is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
On third and long, it's Mahomes. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Derek Wolfe popping in for the sack.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This is fielded at the 27. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here are the Broncos to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. And now a big play to start off this drive as the shot downfield is complete. And this will set them up nicely deep down in KC territory. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal. They'll drop to throw. A good throw here, finding Pascal. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That's good for a gain of 6, second and goal. Second and goal from inside the 5.
Check, 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 check.
Second and 4. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Noah Fant, his 3rd touchdown now on the year as his guys continue to pour it on.
3 weeks, 3 touchdowns. It's obvious they've looked his way early and often in the red zone this year, and that's usually a pretty good place to find a tight end in the NFL.
Now McManus for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Looking to throw is Mahomes. That one complete to Hill. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. We're back now in KC. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Mahomes now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Mahomes complete to his tight end. It's Kelsey. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. A couple of first downs has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. Now it's Mahomes again. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Now, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Mahomes on target there to Hill. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 39-yard line. And again, it's Mahomes. He gets it complete to Harris. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Mahomes. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Coverage there by Brian Bonnie Calhoun. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the fourth quarter here. You've held a team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job. Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Got his man. It's Williams. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. Give him 3 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So on 4th down, Mahomes off, Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. Right hash mark of 42-yard attempt. Butker's kick here is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
This will be fielded at the 6. And now the rookie's free. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're pretty darn all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. So he took that one at the 6, returned it all the way to the end zone. An electric return it was, 94 yards to the house. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And out come the Chiefs now. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Mahomes now to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. They've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Now a man open down the middle of the field.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They face a third down now as they try to find a late score. Throwing now is Mahomes. And it's complete to Kelsey. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Mahomes firing complete.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter is a good running back dive play.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, so a lot of credit to the defensive game plan and especially the execution.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 44-yard line. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Mahomes now on 1st down. It's brought in by Harris. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. To throw again on 2nd down. Mahomes. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Dustin Colquitt now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When you go to the backup, let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. From Kansas City, so long, everybody.
Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100. I'ma tell the